Wow. Macrina Daniel. Man, I did this is the oh my God. Guess what happened? I was talking for 7 straight minutes and my icon was off. That's crazy. That's never happened. Well, this happened another time before, but that's not happened too many times. I knew I had a feeling something was off because I was talking and I was just going in, and no one had any comments besides Macrina. That's crazy, man. Macrina said, I was not hearing you. Man, I wish somebody would have said something because I was really just giving y'all the truth. Remember that video that stream that me and Coach Joe did? And we was telling you the truth about the summer league, how it works, and how certain teams do what they do. And the last summer league game is so important to make a roster or a two-way contract. Everyone knows this. And for Jello to not play, it's tough, man. It is tough. Because he needed those extra minutes. And for him to not play a single iota of minutes is not going to be easy. The good news is for Jello is that Jello is able to be on the G League. He will be on the G League. His brother LaMelo got his back on that. But it's not the end of the road for Jello. I went on Flight Sports TV. Shout out to Flight. Shout out to the crew, Dex. And all I did was state the truth. Y'all want to know what I said? I said that since Liangelo didn't play any minutes, that means that the Hornets were only focusing on their draft picks and the players they have valued. And some of the people in the panel lost their minds. Interjecting, not letting people speak, just unprofessional stuff. But all I had to say is, what was wrong with what I said? I'm telling you how the NBA works, and all of a sudden, people lost it. Now, I'm a big fan of not only Jello, but LaMelo. But if LaMelo plays a game where he's being passive or not being himself and not being the LaMelo we all know, I'm going to call it out and keep it real. I'm not going to sugarcoat. Smooth says, I was a witness to it, family. Yep. Remember that stream we had? We had someone that couldn't handle a good conversation, lost their minds, and want to call my name out. And here's the thing. When you have dialogue and conversation, when you yell at someone, when you don't hear someone's side and let someone speak, you have lost the argument. Rap Guy was in the shout out to Rap Guy. Rap Guy was in the Flight Sports TV chat. He says you spoke facts on that panel. I did. Rap Guy said there was a lot of fanboyism in the Flight's chat. Yeah, and shout out to Flight, man. He's my dog, though. Doing a good job. But the people I was in the panel with, they didn't want to. Here's what happened. Every time I spoke, right? And I mentioned, I said, I told you guys what the Hornets were going to do, and they didn't even listen to it. You peeped that out? The Lord Sarprin says I was there that was interrupted. That's what was happening, man. And then here's the thing. I would say something like, Jello's not playing this. I said by Jello not playing any minutes, in the summer league. That tells you he's not going to be on the active roster in the NBA. And Shines lost their minds, man. I was like, how is that a lie? Y'all know how important the last summer league is. I even made an example that if the roles were reversed, and if LaMelo was in Jello's shoe and had only Jello's talent, I would say the same thing. Shout out to Coach Ant Learn. Smooth says, keeping it that raw truth as DJ posted. Yeah, man. No, they want me to do this cookie cutter content. They want me to just say, everything's gonna be all right, be all right, be all right. I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing that cookie cutter content, man. That's what they want me to do. They want me to be like, oh, it's okay. Jello didn't play any minutes. Let's not overly constructively criticize. That's what they want me to do. They don't want me to be raw truth. They want me to be pillow talk. DJ pillow talk. They want me to just soft spoken and smooth. Y'all saw it on that stream I was on when I said that what Jello needs to work on. Man, they were losing their damn minds. They was like, oh, Jello doesn't. This is what they told me. Rap God, he was in there. So one guy, I think his name was Ham, no problem with him, but different opinions. He went on to say that I didn't make any sense for pointing out that Jello needs to working on his footwork, losing weight, fitness. And I told him, look at the tape. He said Jello doesn't need to work on that. That's just who he is. Come on, man. So Jello doesn't need to work on his game? Come on, man. Let's keep it real. Stop all that unanalyzing crap. Now, Rich says, however, even if Jello does those 5 things, they still won't let him in. Now, I can at least respect that better than just saying that what I'm saying is not true. And Rich, also, the draft picks are going to be, man, I kept telling y'all that. Nobody wanted to listen to me but a few. The real ones who understand the game. Coach Ant Learn understood. Shout out to Ant Learn. Ant Learn tried to tell every single one of y'all what the Hornets we're going to do with Jello. They use Jello for clout. I'll repeat. They use Jello for clout, not for his talent. Oh, yeah, they losing their mind today, bro. Smooth. He said acting like it was the end of the world. And I'm not surprised what happened. He's undrafted. And then they had the nerve. Here's the funny part. Then they had the nerve to say, come on, man. This analyzing stuff of Jello, man. How can you be a fan if you analyze Jello? Come on. You hear yourself now? So we can't be objective of our own favorite players? Here's a good thing about talking about LaMelo. Here's a good thing. And LaMelo Holic, let me know if we do this or not. The good thing about when we talk about LaMelo, when we get on LaMelo, ain't nobody coming over here making excuses. Ain't nobody coming on here just saying some bullshit that doesn't even make sense. If LaMelo plays bad, he plays bad. I'm not here to make no damn excuses. I'm not here to produce pillow talk commentary. I got a job. I got a living. I don't have to do this all day. So that's why I'm glad I got my own channel. And shout out to Coach Joe. Y'all pray for Coach Joe. Coach Joe's a little bit sick. I talked to him today. He's under the weather. Hopefully it's not COVID. But pray for the OG Coach Joe to get better. He was going to be on the stream. We had a good conversation. Smooth says, preach, DJ. And when you think of Jello, his game is catch and shoot. We need more than that. Now, family, I'm gonna test your basketball knowledge. What do the Hornets need the most? Y'all answer in the comment section. And I asked this question on Flight's channel, the brother Flight, to the other panel, like Ham and those guys. They said that Jello is what they need to get over the hump. Come on now. We can't keep saying this bull crap. Not defense, not rim protection, not a 5-man. That's what they said. We can't flip the narratives because it makes us look bad when we flip the narrative. We got to be better than that. That's why I like talking to coaches, man. I like talking to scouts. I like talking like the brother Ant Learn, who ain't shucking and jiving, who ain't just trying to go along to get along. We can have a conversation about hoops without all this emotion and sensitivity and stuff. And y'all act like I don't want Jello to succeed. I want Jello to succeed, but I'm not sugarcoating shit. And shout out to the brother Elijah Shaw. Let me drink some water real quick, man. I'm trying to go in, man. Elijah Shaw, thank you, my brother. Day one supporter. He said Jello even said he needs to work on his game. Talk to him, especially his defense. But unless Melo pulls a Greek freak, it gets Jello on a roster. It doesn't look good right now. You let him know, bro. That's exactly what I've been trying to tell him. And Elijah Shaw is a big-time Ball family fan. So if he's saying this, you know it's true. I'm speaking this truth because Jello himself told you what he needs to work on. He told you, and you didn't listen because you didn't want to be objective. When I told you that the Hornets were using Jello for clout, nobody wanted to listen to me. Look what happened. He didn't play, but they still using his pictures and likeliness on every single commercial. Tell me if I'm lying. I'm telling you, I don't want to hear this truth right now. Shout out to the brother Douglas Goldenchild. And one thing about Douglas Goldenchild, if you agree or disagree, he's never going to switch up. He's never going to be like, oh, I'm not going to listen to DJ because I disagree with something. Whenever he disagree, he puts his point out and stands by it. What I'm talking about is trying to help Jello in a basketball perspective. He knows what he needs to work on. But one thing I give credit to Liangelo Ball. Liangelo Ball, despite playing no minutes, you know what he showed? Good body language. Liangelo Ball showed good body language. He didn't complain. He didn't worry about anything that's going on. He was dialed in. He was focused. He knows he's in a tough situation, and he never gave up. And that's something we all can learn. We all can learn from that. Let's get it to 50 likes, family. Shout out to the homie Hood Raw. He says, shout out to Coach Joe. That COVID is no joke. I'm dealing with it for this shit right now for over a week, man. Yeah, Coach Joe, man, he's trying to recover from COVID. I mean, hopefully he's good. He took a COVID test. But what Coach Joe said to me, man, before I went on the stream, he said, DJ, man, just promise, just be you. Don't be afraid to be yourself. One thing I appreciate about Coach Joe, he loves sports. He loves the people, and he knows that RawTruth Media is family. He sees every single one of you as family. That's why he remembers everyone's name almost, who usually goes on to RawTruth Media on this site. He tells me all the time, man. What he tells me, he always says this to me. He said, DJ, when I go on your streams, it's like a belonging. That's the best type of compliment I could receive on this channel. And it's really because of you guys, the subs, man, who just want to have good basketball talk and not want to and not want to be lost in the sauce, man. Shout out to Flight Sports TV. He in the comment section. Great stream today. I'm glad he said he's tuned in. I'm glad he invited me on the stream. It's different on that panel, brother. I ain't gonna lie, it's different, man. I'm trying to talk, and but it's urban. Everybody got their own mind, so I can at least respect that. But subscribe to Flight Sports TV, and also, if you would like to send Coach Joe a get well present, go to his Cash App right now at $basecat. It's on the screen right there. Show love to Coach Joe, no matter if it's $1 or $5. Y'all know how much Coach Joe means to RawTruth Media. He's family. Elijah Shaw says, much love to Coach Joe. We need his wisdom on this subject matter, so get well. Oh, he was going to go in. If that COVID stuff wasn't happening, man, he was about to go in. Because Coach Joe tried to tell everyone what was going to happen and people weren't listening. And then there were some people who thought they knew more than Coach Joe, a man who was coached at a high level and well-respected and scouted. And he knows people. And I was on the phone with him today. I said, Coach Joe, we try to tell him, especially you, OG. Smooth says, Coach Joe, in my prayers, I ask for DJ and everyone to keep my mom in your prayers. She has COVID and a heart infection. Prayers to your mother, my brother. I hope she gets well. Yeah, COVID's no joke. And if you have respiratory problems, man, that attacks, man. Elijah Shaw said, Flight had a great show today. I try to show his channel some love through Super Chats. Thank you. Elijah Shaw is such a great supporter, and he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to Super Chat or Cash App, but he does it anyway, and he supports a lot of channels. We need that because we're trying to elevate independent media. We got buffoon networks on ESPN, Fox Sports, News, whatever, that are spewing out idiosyncrasies out there, and it just we have to have the independent culture set. And with brothers like Elijah Shaw, if we have more brothers and sisters like Elijah Shaw, this whole thing will grow tenfold. Hood Raw says, yeah, when hitting threes, he's an impact player, but when he's when it comes to bench players, you got to be like water and find cracks that needed on your team. That's a good point, because Jello, when he had that interview on the 13th of July, y'all realize Jello didn't talk about what he's good at. Jello didn't talk about, oh, I'm just good at shooting threes. Jello wasn't talking about, oh, I'm a strong built guard, wing. He said, no, I got to work on defense. That came out of his mouth. Douglas, you know what I'm talking about. Jello did say that. So don't get mad at me or Coach Joe that we're pointing out the stuff that Jello said. Jello talked about foot placement. And he talked about how quick the guards are, so he has to be smarter how to angle on defense. This is all the stuff that Liangelo Ball pointed out. Again, I'm just the messenger. I'm just relaying the message. Like on that last stream, when I pointed out that Jello needs a speed coach. Y'all know, come on, y'all be real with me. Y'all know Jello needs a speed coach. And what were people saying? Oh, he good with the way he is. I said, brother, if Jello was good the way he is, he would be drafted by now or on an active roster. China or no China. But I have something for you all. And Nico said it right here, but I'm going to elaborate it even more. Nico says, right, I'm saying Jello ain't a bench player. That's why he don't make a bench player impact. This is adjustment for him, to be honest. Wow, Nico. The psychology of Jello. And that's why he, in that interview, he's trying to navigate through this. Through high school, after high school, JBA, international, etc. Jello has always operated his mind as not a bench player. That's why it takes some time to shoot threes. They had to get going. This is a process. I told y'all this. This is a process for Jello. That's why I'm not mad about Jello if Jello plays for the G League for a year. He'll be able to learn to be a bench player and to find other strengths. This is an adjustment for Jello. But when I was in that stream, and it was a great stream on Flight Sports TV, by the way, it was an excellent stream. But when I went on that stream, they were trying to say that, not Flight, but the other people, they were trying to say that Jello is as good as the McGowan's and stuff. I said, we can't put that out there. We know he's not on their level, but if he fixes their defense, if he fixes his defense and gets his three-point shot to 40 and up %, he can make it. They're like, no, Jello don't need to be doing that because the father said this and that. And shout out to LeVar. All love to LeVar, excellent father. But I'm talking about the NBA. Y'all want to know the reality of the NBA? Y'all really want to know the reality? It's a grown man business. And the NBA does what the NBA wants to do. No matter what we think, no matter what opinions we have, they're going to do their thing. But like Elijah Shaw, when he pointed out, I'm just glad the brother is getting a chance at least to compete for a spot. That's why I'm happy. That's why I'm not being nitpicky. I know his weaknesses. But if Jello, guess what? If Jello's still with the G League, that's a win. Oh, y'all don't want to hear this. Y'all don't want to hear this. Let me repeat it for the people in the back. If Jello is on the G League team, the Greensboro Swarm, it's still a win. Y'all want to know why? Because the team is still helping them develop. They didn't have to do this. And even if they did it as a favor for LaMelo, they didn't have to get Jello on the Greensboro Storm. That means Jello has the time to work on his game. Smooth says, what you think about JT Thor? JT Thor is what I expected him to be. Remember, we did a breakdown, me and Coach Joe, on his game. JT Thor, defensively, he will get some minutes because Steve Clifford likes versatility. Now, Steve Clifford doesn't like to play young guys that much, but I think he cannot afford to make the same mistake. Now, he will still play. This is what I think, though, because you can't escape nature. I still think that Steve Clifford will still play the lean on the veterans just a little bit, but not as much as in the past. I have Nico Savage in the building. What's good, my brother?
Yo, what's good with you, man? Appreciate you having me. I had just seen the link. I've been in and out, but just wanted to come chop it up with you. You got an amazing topic. I've been MIA a little bit. I did want to say this real quick because I was going back and forth with Hoodie Raw in the chat, man. I don't think people quite understand the mental adjustment for players that don't see themselves as bench players to play as we've seen it with Carmelo, right?
Right.
He struggled for years mentally to want to come off the bench. And we watching Jello get adjusted to it within what a year. And that's why he doesn't make certain, like he doesn't dive for the ball. He doesn't do the certain things that a guy off the bench might that only plays 12 minutes a game will contribute to a game because he can contribute more literally when you lean on him. But this team hasn't leaned on him. So you don't see much from him. And I appreciate you for diving into the psychology of it, though, because many people don't see it like that. They just see it like he's not doing this, he's not doing this, you need to work on this, or he's just not good. It's like it's an adjustment. And I'll say this because it's a video I'm going to be dropping soon, but I will say this term. The Ball brothers have been spoiled playing with each other. People don't quite get that. They have been spoiled playing with two other guys that do the right thing at all times on the basketball court.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get that going into the next level playing with guys that's trying to eat for themselves. They're not always going to do the right thing because they only care about what they're trying to accomplish on the court. Some people might see, oh, Jello can do this and that, but fuck Jello. I'm trying to get this job. I'm trying to showcase my talent. He's not going to get the love that he would playing with a LaMelo or Alonzo Ball or how he has played his entire life. And that's an adjustment himself.
Brother Nico, you hitting some good points. I was trying to tell the brothers and sisters about the realities of the NBA because a lot of them are saying, well, if he plays with his brother, this wouldn't be a problem. See, that's the problem. Jello this is new. You know, you see the NBA, everybody trying to get theirs. You see Figueroa and those cats that was playing today, they were trying to get theirs. You know what I mean? They were trying to, they're trying to make a living. So I knew what the game was, man. Ant Learn says, last time Jello started was in the JBA before high school. Yep.
Can I say this? This is one thing that is a very big problem in its own. The fact that Jello is on that team, they know that eyes are on that team. So that's even more ambition for them guys to try their best to get their names, the abilities, and the potential job signing somewhere else in the world into the universe. That's what they're doing. Anytime Jello's in the game and they hear that roar, they feed off that. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Even though it's for Jello, they're using that energy to try to like, oh yeah, I can do something too. But I mean, Jello don't come with an energy of rubbing that in their face or that he's better than them or something like that. But we have to understand the psychology of everybody else on the team. They understand everybody here for Jello, but they're gonna do their best to eat while the odds are there.
No doubt. That's why yeah, Nico, no doubt, man. That's why I didn't even get mad about like it's predictable because that's how the summer league is, man. Y'all know how it is. You trying to get a spot. You ain't worried about just because this is somebody's brother or something. I can't blame. Like, you see a guard, right, trying to get an and one instead of passing it to Jello. Of course they're going to do that. They're trying to score. They're trying to put some points. Nico, talk to the family about Jello being in the G League could be good for his progression. See, I'm not really worried about stuff like that. I just am glad to see his progression and trying to learn and stuff like that. Can you let the family know?
Well, just to color your thoughts. Of course, in the ideal world, we love him on the Hornets right now. That's what anybody would want. But as long as he is within that organization, and he even said it right, adjusting to being around NBA staff, personnel, just getting himself mentally into the understanding of what it's like to be on an NBA routine, going back and forth, flying different places or whatever they do in the G League. I don't know how they get around, but either way, just getting to travel and playing in the NBA team situation where he actually could be brought up or on a two-way or something. That's good for him. But anybody that don't think that, I don't know what y'all watching. He needs that. And it's helped out so far. He's playing more comfortable now, even though he's doing less than he was last year in the summer league. Like last year in the summer league, I seen him take a couple shots where he was in mid shot and he like, oh shit, I shouldn't have took that. Where he even traveled a couple times, uh, pulling the ball back down after his jump shot. Everything just looks a lot smoother for him now. And we just need to see him on the team to know that he still has a chance. He's learning, man. Like look at him like as a rookie last year. That's all he is. He came straight from the streets into a team. This is a blessing.
No doubt. And we got Flight Sports TV, man. What's good, my brother?
Shout out to Flight.
Yeah, my bad. I just had some connection issues, my fault. What's going on, DJ?
No, doing well. Having this great conversation, man. That stream you had, man, that was
yeah,
a rumble in the
crazy.
Bronx.
Yeah, sometimes it gets like that, It's wild though, but y'all did all right though. Nobody said any low blows or anything. It was just some disagreements.
No, yeah, man, it's all love at the end of the day. I realize Ham he's very invested in Jello. I understand. I was just telling him the reality of the NBA. And let's be honest, man, your favorite player doesn't play any minutes. Emotions are high. I get all that. Jello, what do you expect for him after the summer league? Seeing what you're seeing right now, Flight.
Yeah. What'd you say?
What do you expect for Jello going forward? Seeing what you saw in the summer league.
Right. Well, going forward, it seems like it's looking like he's maybe Greensboro bound. So
Right.
I've been just trying to let people know possibly, like, none of this stuff is facts. This is just my opinion, that I think if he goes Greensboro bound, I think some of these guys that you seen last year, like the Kai Joneses and some of like the JT Thors, I think they're gonna be on the active roster, maybe even book night as well. I think hopefully that provides some more opportunity for Liangelo in Greensboro than he had last year. That's what I'm hoping, but obviously the elephant in the room is the minutes, and we don't know what's going to happen from game to game, but I'm just hoping that's a possibility. But I don't know. Hopefully that's the avenue to the NBA. You could just be hopeful for him. That's just my opinion.
Right. And Jello, he's got to see it as he probably does already as a progression. Last season he wasn't really getting the minutes in the G League. So this year the goal should be is to get as much minutes as you can in the G League and establish yourself. Work on your weaknesses. Study the Charlotte Hornets. You know what they need. They need 3 and D. Let me repeat that. 3 and D. And for Jello's sake, since he's a 3-point shooter specialist, he needs to be hitting 40 or 40 plus percent shots for 3. That's my goal for him. Nico, what do you think about that? Is he there?
To be honest,
Yeah.
When it comes to Jello shooting, I'm never worried about that. That's one thing that he does specialize at. I just want to see his usage go up a little bit. Because if he gets the opportunities, there's no way you're going to see him bomb down at some 32, 34, 35%. He just needs to have the quality shots and for his teammates to find him, when he's open. Because the last game I seen, I didn't even see the one that just happened. Last game I seen Kai Jones doing step backs. And he made one of them things, but he took it like a big man taking that shot 4 times in a game is crazy. The fact that the Joel Embiid syndrome is being spread to guys who have a percentage of his talent. But I do believe Jello, it's all based off opportunity for him. This isn't something new for him. He's a hooper. He's going to get it out the mud regardless. 41% is nothing for a guy like this. He just needs the opportunity. That's how I see it for him.
And shout out to everyone in the chat. I also want to say RIP to Rashard Anderson, who used to play for Jackson State, was drafted in 2000. SWAC legend. RIP to him and his family. Cancer sucks. I repeat, cancer sucks. If anyone knows anyone with cancer, man, prayers to them. It's no joke. But again, rest in peace to the legend, Rashard Anderson. Corn H says, at the end of the day, Jello is still playing NBA players. Yeah, it's all about him getting better. Rich says he will get yo-yo this year, and then next year might put him on the team. Interesting.
DJ, I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
So if you were going to value Jello on an NBA team, what would be the main thing you say is like, we need this from him, and you're going to make that what he does, or are you going to allow his game to be free flowing?
I'm glad you asked that. And you mentioned something earlier about Jello has to develop a role playing mentality. That will be his avenue of getting in the league. I've mentioned before, and others. Shout out to Hoop Jargon. He's mentioned PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker is not a quick guy, and really the reason why he's a great defender is his IQ and knowing to use his strength on the court, hand placement. Get a body on you. Jello's a strong guy, as we all know. And if he could get the IQ up to a level where he could become some type of defensive ace, that will get him minutes. Again, we know he's a good shooter. I mentioned the 40%. The reason why I mentioned Jello must shoot 40% is to increase his chances on getting an NBA spot, not just making a spot. Because I'm going to be honest with you, if Jello is just on an NBA roster and not really playing, that's not a win-win. I'm talking about for Jello to become a name, if that's in his future, of course, what he has to do, hypothetically.
I agree with you. So I got a question too, DJ. What do you see? What's next for Jello? What, in your opinion, where does he go from here?
Greensboro Swarm. And like I mentioned earlier, this is before even Flight came on the stream. He's got to make sure that he's playing more than he did last season. And if he could get an active role in the G League, then it would be a sign of, okay, he's definitely has a chance to make the roster. But he's got to be a junkyard dog. Again, you gotta study what the Hornets need and capitalize it. But let's be honest, this is the reality. 0 minutes, no matter what it is, that's not a good look. Not even 5 minutes. It's alarming. But is it the end of the world? No. Because guess what? He's still gonna be in the G League.
That's right.
Yeah, they don't draft guys with their first pick in the G League to just not bring him back.
Right.
I guess I do want to comment on his play style real quick.
Yeah.
Whether people call me delusional or see it or not, I do truly believe Jello can be a high clip scorer in the NBA and not just, taking catch and shoot jumpers. From the team that we just seen win the NBA Finals, the Golden State Warriors, only one of those guys, or let's say two of those guys, are uber talented. One of them is super athletic, and the rest play with high IQ. And I know that's what it takes to win games at all times. The fact that Draymond Green can play on a basketball floor shows you the importance of having a brain. And I think that Jello and his brothers have some of the best basketball brains available, just at knowing what to do. Even if they couldn't explain it to you in the way of X's and O's, they could show it to you to the perfection of what to do in each and every situation. And I think there's a place in the league for somebody like that to play with another guy that understands somebody like that. And another sneak peek into what I'm dropping, I'm definitely I'm gonna bring up some plays with Lonzo and LeBron. LeBron James is a basketball genius, and he understood that Lonzo Ball had a high IQ for the game. So he used Lonzo Ball's brain and understood his talents and how to bring, I guess, the initiative of him being an aggressive player out of him, even though he wasn't, taking all the shots and whatnot. There was moments in time where we seen Lonzo Ball in ISO. We don't see that anymore. But the fact that LeBron James knew that he can get a bucket in the ISO against certain players, like we ain't seen in that late in the game, fourth quarter, we haven't seen Lonzo Ball sizing up a big man, shooting a step back for game over him since that year. LeBron James brought the ball up court, passed to Lonzo Ball as time is expiring, get a bucket on the big man. His new teammates currently don't have the IQ to see him as that kind of guy, and they want to be the guy to take that shot. I truly believe Jello, if he just gets on a team, realistic, if he played with like a LeBron, if he played on the Warriors, if he played on any team with just a high basketball IQ, he would be a high impact player, backdoor cuts, catch and shoot, knowing when guys are gonna. He can pass out the post well. He actually can do a pass in almost any position well. Point being, that's going to be his best chance to succeed in the NBA. Is playing with guys with a basketball brain instead of guys trying to eat. He doesn't do well with guys like that. Realistically, none of them do other than Melo because he can create his own greatness at any time.
Interesting point. We got Torin Santana. What's good, my brother? Thank you for tuning in to RawTruth Media.
Hey,
Torin.
what's good, man? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, what's good, man? I appreciate you bringing me on, man. I've been listening to you for a while. First time decided to join. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I really don't know how to take Jello not getting the minutes, man. Because I was looking at, I mean, the Timberwolves, they got, some star players on their team, but I guess because they already signed, they decided not to play. Like the Lofton kid, he didn't play, but I guess because he already signed or whatever, so it's like, I don't know. I just don't seem like it's too big of a deal. I think like they already know what they got in Jello. They already know he's a developmental guy, and they still continue developing him. So I fully believe that he's gonna still be in Greensboro again. As long as his brother here, he's always gonna have some type of leeway to get in over here. So I believe he's still be in Greensboro. I don't think it's like a time to panic on him or give up on him and be like, nah, it's the last shot. He booted up out of there. Like I don't think it's a time to panic on it. I think it's all to the good. I think he'll straight. So I don't think it's time to put the panic button on him just yet, man. Like I said, he working on his defense. Like DJ said, man, if he get him a footwork coach, like you were saying on flight. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I said talk to him, let him know.
Right. Yeah. So I say he get a footwork coach, and he get work on that lateral quickness. Sometimes, like he said, Jello no. He said he want to work on his defense. He want his defense to shine. That's what he's trying to do. He said, people think I play D, so I want to start playing defense. So that's what he's doing, and I see like that's probably what he need to focus on, so he can show a little better part of his game, so he can't be that 3-and-D player that we think he can be. So I think he on the right. Sorry about the GPS in the background. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but
it's all good.
Yeah, I think if he just keep on doing what he's doing, he's gonna be all right. No time to panic. And another thing I want to speak on too, man. I thought he was on Flight's channel earlier, and I was just like listening earlier. And I was just like, damn, old dude kept cutting you off, man. I was just like, I think Flight, you got the power to mute people mics if you hosting the what you call it, right? So I was just trying to figure out why you didn't mute oh boy Mike, man. Just let DJ talk.
Well,
I'm gonna get up out of here with that one.
They was engaging, so that was for our channel. Two guys like that. That seemed like that was really good. Like it was just a good moment on our channel. Maybe other channels it might not be viewed like that, but that was, to be honest with you, that was a real good moment, But unfortunately, these guys were kind of. It was all right, I thought nobody went too low. If somebody went low, then I would have came in. It seemed like they were just getting frustrated with opinions. But if he would have went low, if he would have took you a low blow on you, I definitely would have engaged in that.
And I believe that as well.
And Hungry Ham, and I want to tell, I don't mean to cut you off, DJ.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Hungry Ham, he's that guy. Unfortunately, that wasn't maybe one of his best moments, but he does a lot of good efforts on our channel. Like he does a lot of good stuff. So I don't want to disrespect him. I don't want to disrespect anybody. I just wanted you guys to figure it out. But I was just proud of y'all that it didn't go too crazy.
No, you know me. Matter of fact, for those who watched that stream, despite all that, despite being cut off, I allowed him to speak. And Hungry Him, I think his intentions are good. I didn't take it personal. I just, it just one of those things. And one thing about you, Flake, if somebody would have went off the rails, you would have let them know, like, hey, we're not about to have that. But nobody was cussing, or it's just two people with different opinions.
Right.
Elijah Shaw says, I wish I could get Summer League Lonzo MVP back, but after Luke Walton, Zoe had his confidence beat down. And then the injury, then he got injured, and then he's finding his way back. He's injured again. Yeah, a lot of injuries for Zoe, man. Flight, you heard about the knee situation with Alonzo that they reported that he's slowly progression.
Yeah.
Before training camp. What do you think?
Man, it's wild. Me personally, that was my thoughts that he would be ready for training camp, despite all of the news we've been hearing. But it's still a possibility. But it seems to be that he's not progressing as fast as we would like. I don't know what the hell is going on, really. All we could really do is hope, in my opinion. But if he's not ready to start training camp, all of this stuff will linger until next season, and you starting off on the wrong path. Even if you would have come midway through. I mean, you missed training camp. You just coming on. You just the foot in his arm. Everything is just messed up. Just at this point, Lonzo just got to get his ass on the court. Just seriously.
Let me read this right here. And good points, Flight. He said, I think it's over for Jello. I think it's literally 2 seasons they've been subbing him in, snubbing him, and I don't think the NBA wants him. I'll say this. We can't overreact to all this stuff, man. This is the reason why I've been telling people, let Jello have a process. Let him have growth. To say that it's over, come on, he's still a young player. Let him go to the G League, let him improve his game and see where it goes. If it's never NBA, then that's on the talent level and not being there. But let him work hard to get to that level before we start saying, and that's the problem when we talk about Jello. And I got to be honest, it's never a balance. It's kind of like Lonzo, right? Nico and Flight. It's never a balance.
Right.
It's never like, example for Lonzo. We know he's a great defensive player and passer. Some people say, oh, he should be a perennial all-star. That's not the case. He has to overcome being injured a lot, number one. And then you have the other faction that said he's replaceable and he's not that good. When he was injured, the Bulls didn't even look the same. Let's keep it real now. So I'm very objective on Lonzo. Y'all already know this. I think he needs to attack the basket more. But that's another topic for a different day. Nico, speaking of Lonzo, what do you think about his career in that knee injury situation, man? What it would do with the Bulls if he's not healthy? Oh, I think he's not.
Well,
yeah, I don't think he's there.
He's there?
No, I don't think he's there. Yeah, I think he went off.
Yeah,
But no matter what y'all think about Zoe, man, they gotta have him, man, because he does the little things that nobody else wants to do. He's the only one that wants to guard the best player, and he's the only one that wants to facilitate the offense, set up the offense the way it should be, and push the pace. When he was gone, a bunch of ISO ball, everybody want to get their own shot, bad, inefficient plays. It was a mess. They got to get him back, and I think Nico's coming back. Nico, you back?
Yeah, my bad about that. I was here just having a little family conversation real quick.
Oh, no problem at all, man. I was saying, what if Lonzo, if let's say he's not healthy starting out for the Bulls, what would that mean for him?
if he's not healthy, that's the team that's going to need him. But if he's not, are you wanting to know basically what the Bulls would be like, or for Lonzo specifically?
Both Bulls, Lonzo, like
For Lonzo, I feel like it's a bad look just based off of the history. You know, we have had players with early career injury problems. And for anybody, don't bring up Steph Curry. He was only hurt for like 1 year. He's played like 82 games, like 5, 6 times, or close to it. This is, I guess, something we thought he would be over by now, where he just keeps getting a small injury. And let's not call him small, but the injuries that we don't think could keep him out as long as they do, and he's been out. That's definitely going to hurt that team because, as we've seen, they're not a very smart team without him. Like if Alex Caruso or Io aren't ball handling a majority of the game, which they don't, you're going to see selfish ISO ball that gets them nowhere but to the first round of the NBA playoffs and get their ass whooped by any real team. And that's their ceiling for the team without Lonzo Ball. So I mean, I hope that he comes and he's ready somewhat, by the beginning of the season. But if he's not, man, that's what 6 years of a unhealthy Lonzo Ball, which is just not good. As much as I love to see him play, and as much as I love the guy just as a person, it's just 6 years of injuries is crazy, man. It's what it is.
Nico, you just said something that a lot of people are trying to stay away from, but it's the harsh reality of the situation. I don't want Lonzo to have being a fan of his throughout the years, ever since UCLA. I don't want Lonzo to be labeled as an injury-riddled player. Now, someone has that now as a label, but I think people are trying to give him a chance. People are trying to say, what if he gets healthy? What if he finds – because they saw a glimpse in flight. Remember, before Lonzo got injured, he was on the roll. He was shooting 40-some% from three. I mean, his points per game went up. Correct me if I'm wrong, Flight 2. Didn't he score like 17 points and 10 assists in that span before he was injured? Something like that, close around.
Yeah, definitely. He was hovering around numbers like that just about every night, prior to the injury. He was definitely up in his production.
Who was it that went down?
At the wrong time.
Somebody went down.
What you mean? Everybody was going down.
Yeah, he started doing more because more guys were out.
Injuries happened. Yeah, once the injuries happened, he upped the production. He became more of a scorer. Like in the beginning, it seemed like he was kind of like trying to fiddle his way around the situation. I think he was being too respectful, in the beginning, And then once the guys went down, he started doing what he had to do.
One thing I want to see Lonzo do to improve in his game, something he can add, because I always said Lonzo doesn't have to score 20 to be effective. What he has to do is if he could learn his own floater game, mid-range, to keep teams honest. Okay, you're going to play the passing lanes. I will hit a mid-range or 15-foot jumper. When he gets to that level, then he'll really control the pace. He takes what the defense gives him. Okay, you're just going to clog up the passing lanes. I'm going to drive here. I'm going to drive there. I'm going to drive to the side of the basket, get a bank shot. Once Lonzo does that, then his game grow. But it all takes him being injury prone. He has to have a healthy season. If he could play 1 year this year, if he could just play the rest of the season unfazed, because this stuff always happened with Lonzo. Remember his rookie year with the Lakers? He finally kind of got his groove. His three-point shot was kind of, making it at times. And then he got injured within March. And then the second year with LeBron James, caught his groove, gets injured. Every time he catches his groove, he gets injured for some reason.
You got a good point. He just got to put together a good season. I guess one of his better seasons was the contract year in New Orleans. I think he stayed healthy relatively okay that year. It wasn't nothing too drastic. Maybe you could credit that to the contract that was coming up, but And you can't predict injuries. He just has some bad luck, but he got to put it together. Hopefully, what is he, 24 years old? God willing, he could put some of this stuff behind him. He's young enough too, if he could put together a couple of good seasons. But there's a lot of ifs. But first, let's get through with this bone bruise, and let's try to put these injuries, and let's get the Bulls back to where they were.
I feel like if he link up with the brothers, he'll get injured less. And I
Oh, I
say
think,
that I say that strictly because of a lot of injuries do happen on the mental side. And what I mean is, if you're not engaged, even though we're not saying Lonzo is a god to be not engaged, but he can be less of himself, which is enough to probably do something slightly different than you normally would when you're motivated to do something, at your higher self. Like I'm pretty sure for anybody that's played sports, or I'll speak just being a lineman at one point, and I've mentioned this before, where I remember, just lollygagging a day through practice and tired as hell because it's 106, and damn well we should have been drinking water. It was just one of those moments where I was just like gagging, and I stepped wrong, and my fucking ankles turns all the way to the side because I'm half assing it. Whereas in my normal self, that wouldn't happen because I'd be engaged. I'd be on point. It's small shit like that does affect the mind. And I do understand, he did go to the Chicago Bulls, but he figured out at some point, damn, I'm playing with a bunch of ball hogs that can impact a player like Lonzo. He the only guy willing to move the ball for the extra pass and take good shots at all times. Small shit like that does impact you.
Yeah, no doubt, man. That's a good analogy right there in sports. It's, uh, man, playing football, man, those injuries, man, that stuff will pile on, man. That stuff would pile on, and there's nothing you can do, and it's really just having mental fortitude just to get over it. Um, Rich says the league will slowly get sour on Zoe because of his injuries. I hope not, but if you don't take care of it, uh, Rich says sure Zoe isn't related. Sure isn't Zoe.
Yeah.
Is Zoe related to Gordon Hayward? Man, I don't want him to be related to him. Not Mr. Glass.
Hey, even
But
if we was gonna say that, he's probably been hurt more than Hayward. That's the problem.
oh man, now you think about it, it's been
If we stack it up, Lonzo's probably been one of the most hurt guys in the league. He's on Joel Embiid timing right now.
man. I read
As much
something
as
that
we hate
the
to say
most
it.
game Lonzo played in the season was 61.
Yeah, it's not
And I,
looking
and I
good.
think that, and I think that was the contract. Yeah, is that the 1 year in New Orleans?
Yeah,
That was the year when Lonzo said. I think he had an article when he stated that there were some games where he should have been out for treatment, but he kept playing hurt for that contract.
It could have been. I know they shut the whole team down because I know they was competing for a playoff spot that year. I know once they fell out of the picture, I think it was a couple of games left. They just shut all the players down. So that could have contributed to that 60. It could have been more, that he played. I think that year was a relative. Well, are you telling that news now? I didn't even know that, but I thought that was a relatively good year in terms of his health wise. I guess he pushed through for the contract. I thought that most guys do. You know, it's tough. It's tough to gauge this, because his injuries are so unpredictable. It's not like, he picked to get injured. He just had some
Uh-huh.
bad lucks, bad luck of the draw. Just he got to change it around in some way, capacity. And if he goes into this second year, he's not ready for training camp. All of these things linger. You have the Joel Embiid situation. These things, all of these things will start to come up. So it'll be in his best interest, to put this stuff behind him and be ready for training camp and ready for game one of this season. That way, all of this stuff we heard all summer would just be a distant memory.
And
I went
Nico,
no. Oh, go ahead, though. Go ahead. My fault.
no, yeah, I was going to give you some credit, man. You pointed out something that was excellent about what Zoe need to be around his brothers. If I'm Zoe, even Jello, yeah, I think Jello does it more than Zoe, but really Jello did that last year more, not this year. If I were them, I would hang up. I would do what LaMelo's doing. Trainers, strength and conditioning, you name it. Just be around those people. Jermaine Jackson. I think that could really help them, especially Zoe.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we know sports, of course, when you're gifted physically, the physical matters a lot. But when you are that physical specimen, the mental matters a lot. One thing that I can say and give 100% credit to LeBron James, the way that he approaches the game on the mental side, preparation, sleep, food, even though, or let's say it like this: LeBron James has tailored off a little bit off of his extreme diets, and he's still been somewhat relatively healthy for an old man. It's all mental. He go home to the family every night. Somebody's there supporting him, whether it's his wife, daughter, you know what I'm saying, sons. He's always got some type of support system to keep his mental stimulated. Lonzo Ball needs that, especially when you've been grown and raised in that situation. That's why on Flight's channel, right, I would always say this: I hope that God LeVar Ball come into the game tonight. I need Lonzo Ball to play better. Like I need Mama Tina. Shit, I need somebody in the stands. LeVar got to show up tonight because Lonzo's that kind of guy. That's why we see a lot of the best performances. I call it Petty's over Venzo, where he playing against former teams, or when his family's in the building. That's how you know it's mental. As strong as we think his mind is, because he doesn't show it, he's been raised to not show emotions. Thank you for that, Jonathan, by the way. But the way that Lonzo Ball is, his game, like his shot, nothing was wrong with his shot. What was wrong with his shot was everybody getting in his head. He doesn't show emotions outwardly. He's not gonna lash out. He's not gonna, have a moment where he oh my goodness. You've seen the photos of him in New Orleans. Even though he don't show it, that man looked depressed. That stuff impacts the way you play the game of basketball. And that's why I say he's been spoiled. He's been playing a good brand of basketball for a very long time. To come to the league and play with niggas that don't give a fuck about him. That impacts you, man.
That's real. And Thunder's like, LeBron spends $1 million on his body and diet, and you see the results. Thunder also says Zoe needs new trainers. Oh, in the worst way. That has to be upgraded. I've been saying that for years. Jonathan Brand says, and Lonzo needs to be around defenders. His team always using him as a mule on defense, which also adds to his injuries because he's always picking up everybody's slack. Man, what y'all think about that right there?
That was a good point. No, I was just saying that was a good point that he made.
What you think,
okay.
Nico?
Shit. This is right up my alley because I love going at them Bulls. He's playing with a team, especially DeMar DeRozan, because I don't think people quite understood when I was telling them all year he's gonna get to the playoffs and he will let you down. But he's playing with two guys that love to shoot the basketball, that don't like to play defense. He's going to have to pick up slack 80% of the time because the guards are going to drive by them. The guards are going to always look to put them on them. He's going to have to always fight over screens very hard. He's just going to have to do everything at a much higher level than everybody else because they're not engaged. And I hate to say it. I would even say Steph Curry is a better defender than DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. I never thought I would say that in my life, but Steph Curry at least is engaged. He's playing with two dudes who take 20 shots that aren't engaged defensively. That is insane. And they're both tall, long guys. 165, 167, and they're giving you nothing defensively. None of them are 37. LeBron has somewhat of an excuse. DeMar DeRozan is 33, probably about to be 34. Zach LaVine is what, 20, 28, 29, in between that range. They're not people who are
Zach
uncapable.
LaVine is 27.
Okay, 27. He's still young. And you mean to tell me he's playing defense like a 36-year-old? He refused to slide his feet and stay in front of his guy, but he gonna make sure to break you off the dribble on the other side of the basketball. And it's no fucking
funny.
thought of why Lonzo Ball is hurt, man. He the only one that's committed to his team defensively. And that's why he's the winner. He's playing with a bunch of losers.
Yeah, he definitely does it. He's an underrated defender.
Hey, yo, Nico Flight, man. We had a I don't know what is this, Don Samuel. Yeah, you know that. I think I saw him. You're not familiar with that name? Oh,
never heard of him.
But yeah, this dude was a troll. I'm glad he got out the chat that day. But this dude said, and y'all been listening to me throughout the years. Have I ever said that Lonzo wasn't a good defender?
I mean, I don't think I heard it.
I'll say this. Look, I'll go around it and say people haven't been saying Lonzo's a bad defender since he got drafted. The only time we heard bad defensive narratives was when he got cooked by De'Aaron Fox, and everybody said he can't play defense.
That's the only time I heard.
First year. Yeah, after the first year, nobody said that. Universally, nobody says he's a bad defender. And a guy as smart as DJ would never utter that out of his mouth.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just try to, they just throw things out just to create searching and just buffoonery. But I don't even see, not even the haters. Here's the crazy part. Since Lonzo's been in this league, not even haters of his will say he's a bad defender. I don't hear that. All I hear is on the offensive end. Now, assertiveness is not there on drives and not taking the shots he needs to take. And De'Aaron Fox is fast as a cat, man. Yeah, no one's guarding. Marco Romero says no one guarding D Fox, though. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, he's putting up points. He gets to his spots anywhere. No one's really slowing him down. One of the fastest. He's probably the fastest player in the NBA.
Lonzo Ball has gotten the better of De'Aaron Fox a few times, in the course of this NBA career as well. It hasn't just been all one-sided. Lonzo's definitely went to Sacramento and did some work against him. It was actually that year, the contract year, the day when they cut the whole season, that was actually in Sacramento when they stopped the game, and the Pelicans were fighting to get in the playoffs. I think that was going to be a hell of a game because both of them were kind of competing for that play-in situation.
You know what's so funny about this whole thing? We act like De'Aaron Fox, and he's a good player. He's underrated. But we act like he's a multi-time all-star. He hasn't made one yet.
Right. Yeah, he hasn't done much in Sacramento.
Like, if you feel like he's better than Zoe, go ahead and say. But, I mean, they be acting like it's just like it's a world beater or something.
Yeah, like it's just New York Knicks, different caliber or something.
Yeah, I would have understood if it was like, let me think of a point guard like prime Chris Paul or something. When he was younger, and I'm trying to think about the Kyrie or just the ballers out there. But I just see
he cool.
Yeah, he good. He just puts up points. He's on a bad team and he puts up points.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
A good team would love to have him, but as you can clearly see, in a bad team, he's not going to be the difference maker in a win and loss. And because I've been on the Golden State Warrior high, I think people need to really take time to really go over that dynasty beginning again, because it's not just the players, it's not just the backgrounds of the guys, it's not just their skills. The way that they put that group together on the mental side to understand everybody's roles and what they can contribute to the game that equals a W, is what makes them a dangerous team. It's not that Steph Curry can pull up at any time or Klay Thompson can pull up at any time. They got only 2 guys doing that. And a lot of other guys, going into the finals, everybody said Jason Tatum will be a problem, Jaylen Brown will be a problem. At the end of the day, that mentality does not contribute to the game of winning. Their mentality is, how can I 100% impact it? But the Warriors mentality is, how can we win this game? It doesn't matter who they're gonna put in. They know as a team we have to win this game. We're gonna do the exact thing that it takes to win this game. And the reason I bring that team up, the beginning they weren't winning because everybody was trying out shit that they weren't great at, and they were trying to put together the certain team that we know wouldn't work. I forgot who they had. They had the big old the white dude at power forward, Monte Ellis starting still. A bunch of guys that's about themselves, right? Kick them guys out of there, put in 2 new brains, Draymond and Steph Curry starting, that completely understood, I need to win this game. And that's the main priority. Maybe in the regular season, we'll see them guys taking some bullshit. But when it gets down to it, it's a reason they're beating everybody in the playoffs for the past 10 years in 4 to 5, 6 games, maybe. It's all mental, bro. And that. Oh, go ahead.
You speak, man. This panel's been good so far. Shout out to you, brothers, man. Jonathan Brand says Lonzo's like Wiggins. His defense will stand out more when he gets around defensive-minded players. Here's one thing that's true about Lonzo and LaMelo. Since they've been in the NBA, their teams do not fit their skill sets at all. At all. It's the weirdest thing. They never – it's like if your last name is Ball, you're not going to get anything for you. Your organization's not going to surround you with anything. And I remember when Lonzo was drafted, I said I felt bad for him. People were like, why you feel bad? Because he's playing with Luke Walton as his coach. Luke Walton's his coach. And Luke Walton couldn't even get a LeBron James-led team to the playoffs.
He's not a good coach at all. I'm glad you brought him up. I just round off what I was saying back to De'Aaron Fox isn't one of those guys. He isn't a mental guy. And the fact that he's had Luke Walton for a percentage of his career, a guy that doesn't win as a coach, all that shit's an impact, man. The situations have to be right.
Nico, you in flight. Y'all remember when the Kings got Luke Walton? And I gotta say this shit. They were saying, De'Aaron Fox is going to be the one of the few guards to make it work with Luke Walton, unlike Zoe. I was like, watch, man. It don't matter how good your point guard is. Luke Walton is trash, and look what happened.
It's just a level of incompetence. And the unfortunate part is sometimes when you deal with people, they have egos. Luke Walton is one of those guys.
All right. Luke Walton.
Man, he's the coach that did it, man. If there was a coach that took away Zoe's confidence, now I may talk about what he needs to work on. I'm not going to shy away from that. But you talk about the mental side, that damn coach right there broke Zoe. Because before he came to the league, he was dunking on people. He was going in the night and day difference the confidence he had at UCLA.
You know what, man? I need to go ahead and stop being lazy and drop that video, man. I'm touching on all that type stuff because people want to act like Lonzo Ball is a robot. Just because he don't show emotions don't mean he's a robot. This stuff does get to him, man. Luke Walton was the beginning, and I'm not going to say of the end, but the beginning of a downfall of a great player. He was treating him like he was any other guy on the team, and he's not. He's your second overall pick. What the fuck are you doing? This man got him out here playing 4 minutes, pulling him for about the next 7-8 minutes, putting him back in awful times. And not that I agree with LeVar Ball saying that was messing with his body, but it messes with his mind, which messes with his body. That's the problem. And when you get a guy that's not engaged, you get little ticky-tack injury. You can see him run up the court and his ankle roll over. That's why I mentioned mine. When you just lollygag sometimes, going through the motions, some weird shit like that happens. And Luke Walton was the beginning of that. We seen Lonzo Ball against the Spurs hit 3 threes back to back, win the game. Next game, he playing fucking 4 minutes in the first quarter. Like, what are you doing? And then he's out almost throughout the entire second quarter. Get in late in the second quarter. Maybe play some coming out in the third quarter, and then out late in games. Why is Lonzo Ball not in the game late? Man, as a Lakers fan, that's definitely put a lot of stress on my life. I'm praying for my longevity after watching Luke Walton coach Lonzo Ball. As a young man, I'm praying for longevity because that shit was so stressful. Knowing what Lonzo Ball is capable of, and what he can contribute to the game of basketball, and watching him sit on the bench in the fourth quarter and watching bums go get us a loss.
Man, that was a headache, bro. That was a headache, man. I watching those games, man. I try to forget that. SP says Jello's working on defense, which I believe is the next step of evaluating this game. And the fact that Jello himself spoke up about it, one thing about the Ball brothers. What I'm noticing, I noticed before, they don't make excuses for themselves. They know what they need to work on. They're all about perfecting their games. You never hear any of them. They always take blame for losses, even losses that weren't their fault. They will always take blame for it. They're good kids, and you would be a fool to just hate on them for no reason. I know a lot of people dislike him because of his father, which is crazy because you're transferring your anger away from a different subject, a different person. And I thought that was lame, by the way. Jonathan Brand says, yeah, as a Laker fan, I wanted to go courtside and fire on Luke Walton.
Hey, me too.
Shout out to Flight. Yeah, shout out to Flight Sports. He just left the building, man. Appreciate you stopping by, my brother.
Yeah, shout out to Flight, man. He definitely gave me a great start to YouTube, a stimulus package. He's been nothing but a great guy to me, man. I can never thank him enough.
Yeah, his moniker, the voice of the voiceless, man. Shout out to what he does, his platform. Good brother. Jonathan Brand says, that's the patriarch mindset, thanks to Pop. Yeah, that Greg Popovich mindset, man. Luke Walton, and now you see James Borrego. And what's one thing they have in common? Their point guards are Ball brothers. Crazy.
They don't even know how to coach that.
Nico.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're right on that. Before we roll, man, I just want to bring this up. What do you think about Steve Clifford? And do you think this will be a good hire for the Hornets? I'm be honest, man. There were better candidates, but the Hornets are cheap as hell. Yeah, that's what you think, bro.
A waste of time. I mean, all right, any coach can be a good coach if you believe in LaMelo Ball and let him do his thing. Coaching is not hard. All you got to do is let players do what they're good at. And not to bring up the Warriors again, but Steve Kerr lets his players do what they're good at. It's no surprise that they've won 4 championships. He has not minimized anybody's game on that team. Literally. We don't see that ever. So if he can let LaMelo Ball be LaMelo Ball, we could expect fireworks. If not, he's gonna be the same as every other coach, in and out, doesn't make the playoffs, and we'll be shitting on him all season.
Exactly. And let me drop the link for the Pope. He about to be on. Chop it up. Shout out to the Pope.
Yeah, shout out Pope, man.
Elijah Shaw says the game when Lonzo dominated De'Aaron Fox in college, the forgotten game when Zoe and Fox first met. Zoe cooked him, and then Tina had a stroke, and Zoe stayed in the tournament anyway and played bad. I know people are gonna disagree with this. If I was Zoe, I wouldn't even play the rest of the tournament. Remember, he talked with his pops, and his pops said, "No, you got to play this out." But Zoe's hit was not in the game at all. I seen Zoe's first game against De'Aaron Fox. I'm not making excuses. Oh, Pope, I was gonna yeah, we've been on for almost 2 hours. I was gonna be on just a little bit because I gotta run some errands. Yeah, I'm gonna be here in about 5 more minutes. Yeah, people forget that, Nico, man. It's not that they forget it. They just want to bring up a low light for Zoe. And see,
For sure.
I tell people all the time, it's different between what I do, constructively criticize, to others who just shit on this game just to shit on its game. And when they talk about that game, they never talk about the game when he went to Rupp Arena, which is one of the toughest places to go in the SEC, and just lit up the whole Kentucky team to the tournament. And I knew I had a bad feeling in that game before it when I heard that Tina had a stroke. I was like, man, I don't know. You get what I mean, Nico? I was like, I don't know, man.
You got the first taste of what we see. All right, I'm gonna be real with you. The Lonzo Ball we seen that night is the NBA Lonzo Ball. Not engaged, bothered, and not happy with the situation. Only difference is that was a much more serious thing, but it allowed you to see that he could be mentally touched. If he's not right and in the mind, you're not gonna get a lot from him. He shouldn't have played, but he played because he's a hooper, and his father, made him feel secure. I got your mother, so you go out there and do what you do, man. But in his mind, he understood that shit fucking with me. Anybody, if you get a situation where a loved one that really, really is close to you like that, and you don't know if they're gonna live or die, you're not about to be all right. You're not about to hoop your soul out. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be thinking like, man, I don't know what's gonna happen, but fortunately she's alive. But my thing is going through that moment again, he didn't know how that situation would play out. He never dealt with that his entire life. So that was brand new to him. He ain't ever felt that kind of pain. That was a whole different pain.
Yeah, that's life, man. That's your family. That's your mother, man. That's that's something. Instead of saying, "Hey, man, it took a lot for someone to play when their mother's dealing with a stroke," and you wonder that they're gonna make it. But let's not forget, they're wondering if their mother was gonna make it. And see, this is what Rap Guy said. Jellos and Zoe criticism are a balance. We got to get back to balance. So no one should be mad at me or anybody else for saying what they need to work on. Or the homie, shout out to the Pope and subscribe to his channel. When we say that they need to work on these things, we may, talk where we joke around and be like, man, they got to do this, or it doesn't look right. But at the end of the day, we want them to succeed. But when haters and shines who go around and just nitpick, they never talk about the good. That's the problem. And any last one before we roll, Nico?
Yeah, I'll say this, and it might hit some people the wrong way, and it might not. When it comes to these Ball brothers, man, I'm as big as a fan of them as anybody on this planet Earth. Like, I don't think people understand. My whole mentality has almost been patterned after them in a family. Like, people don't understand that. Trust me, I want a big baller breakfast. I want an invite to the house, but one thing I will never be is not an honest man.
Mm-hmm.
And when Lonzo Ball is sitting there playing a shit game, I'll be honest about it. When he's playing great, I'll be honest about it. When his team isn't using him correctly, and the fast-paced stallion of a player he is, and everything he can do to contribute, and I said, and I look, I said he'd be a top 5 point guard at the beginning of last season. I'm that kind of guy. I'm not 100% delusional with it, but I do see the ceiling that his father's put out there and what Lonzo's put out there. I see that. I see him being somebody in the rafters as being one of the best point guards we've seen him play this game. And it's a lot of things that hasn't gone that way, but I still believe in that. And I can say it's the media space is full of too many idiots, too many people trying to get in good. We need more balance.
That's the key word, balance, man. Nigga, we be seeing these stuff, man. They just what do they need to work on? I know it's not entertaining always, and man, I'm telling you that last stream. You saw the last stream I did on here, right?
No, I've been a little bit MIA. I mean, I popped up
Right.
here and there, used to be in there, but
Yeah. But man, they
yeah,
lost their damn minds. It was me, Pope, and Coach Joe, man. And
Mhm.
we're talking about everything we talked about, it happened. Now, I didn't know that Jello was going to play 0 minutes, but I knew he wasn't going to play that many minutes on the last game. A shout out to the Pope. He said, nice show. He pointed it out, and everybody was just like in their feelings, man. Not the real ones, not the RawTruth fam. Shout out to Ant Learn and John DeBrand. But I'm talking about folks that's just in a tizzy because we say, hey, man, Jello gotta get in shape. Like when we're saying these things, we want him to take the next step. Now, he's got to want it more to his fans. And I think he knows that. His interview said, but we got to bring balance and stop all this emotion. When we was on that
if I could be honest,
right?
Look, if I could be honest, real quick, when it comes to Jello game, if I'm gonna critique him, I could say he needs a better standalone game. I will say that.
Okay.
He needs a game that does not have to be a piece of somebody else's game. I've said it many times. These ball brothers are a triangle. They are a link. Every part of their game contributes to the next ball brother, even if they're playing separately. You're literally watching a foot of a Megazord right now. That's what you're looking at. Instead of looking at the whole Megazord Power Rangers reference, you're looking at the foot. And the foot ain't that good by itself. But the foot can still do a lot of damage. But their game is tailored to play with each other. Jello is always going to be the guy that's going to be in between doing all that shit. He's going to get the steals. He's going to make the buckets. He's going to get to the basket. He's going to do the dirty work. Melo going to be flashy. He's going to do literally everything on the court, but in a way that helps Lonzo be better and Jello be better. And Lonzo's going to facilitate all that greatness. But they're not together. So the games look flawed. Everybody except Melo's. But that's because he's been built to be the finished product.
And LeVar has always said that LaMelo was the best one.
For sure.
It's not. Yeah, it's just when you learn from your older brothers, you learn from each strength. The younger brothers always, the one that in my family, my younger brother went D1 football. He was the athlete. He learned from everybody. He was just better than everybody in our family. But man, this was a great show. Nico, you're welcome anytime, man. And let's keep doing it. Let's bring more objectivity, more great rational basketball takes. I'm gonna read this last one before I head out. Jonathan Brand said, wasn't Zoe on pace to be the first or second team all defensive until his injury last year? Yes, he was going to be, if he kept it up, second team all NBA. It just, when you get injured midway in the season, you're not gonna get enough votes.
Hey, shout out to Jonathan Brand for understanding that. That's the Ball Brothers game, man. Like I would say, LaMelo definitely has the best standalone game. He don't need nobody to get him the ball. He don't need nobody else to. Man, keep it real with you. It's in the numbers already, and their skill. It's already been faded into the universe. Realistically,
right?
Just their numbers been what their ability are and what they contribute to the game already. That's crazy when you really dive into it.
Mm-hmm. That's real talk, man. Hey, Nico, man, you always welcome, man. This is Raw Truth Media. You know how we do. It's a family. And hey, Nico, you got a Twitter?
Yeah. If y'all gonna look me up, it's Nico Savage on everything. You'll see the Broly pick. I got to get more active. I'm coming with a Lonzo Ball video soon. I got to stop being lazy. I'm keep it real with you because I'm really gonna touch on the evolution of him, and it's
Hey,
not all his fault.
hey, Nico, man. I think I follow you on Twitter. I'm definitely gonna give you some tips, man. What you could do to grow your channel out, brother. You know what you're talking about. You know, I'm a willing helper. So, you know, we all can eat on this YouTube space.
Yes, thank you. Now I'll reach
No
out
doubt.
to you.
That was Nico Savage in the building, man. Jet the brother, man. Again, we all want the Ball brothers to succeed, but we're not gonna sugarcoat. We're not doing no. This is not DJ's pillow talk service. I'm not gonna be just scoffing over the problems or the weaknesses of each player, each ball brother, man. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep my mind clear and speak my mind, no matter what. But shout out to the day ones. Shout out to Coach Joe the Pope, Ant Learn, Elijah Shaw, Rap God, Jonathan Brand, Macrina Daniel. If I didn't say your name, you know it's all over SP, Flight Sports TV, Sean Brown, and many more, man. Y'all stay blessed out there. And I'm out.